Hello. This is my first little fun video. I've done other videos, but this one is just something I've always been interested in, and some people have asked me how do I do this, so I just thought I'd make a video today. My husband took the 12-year-old to soccer, other kids are gone to work, and mom's home alone. So what do? You make a YouTube video. I guess this is how this happens to people. So here I am. So I want to show you how to make a ginger bug. It is what you would start your ginger soda with. So you have to start this process about 5 to 7 days before you want to start your ginger soda process. Now, ginger soda is a fermented, like, probiotic drink made from ginger and a little bit of sugar, a little bit of lemon juice, and pretty much whatever fruit you would like to use. Although bananas and grapes and real sugary kind of things work really well. Berries, they actively ferment well. But this is the starter. You have to have a fermented, concentrated starter to make a ginger soda. So that's what I'm gonna start with tonight. So what I have here is a half a gallon, big jar, and it's empty now, but once it's made, it'll look like this. This is a ginger starter that I've had for a long time. I just keep feeding it and adding to it, and this is what I make our ginger soda with all the time. So those are pieces of ginger in there, and this is what it'll look like when it's good, really good. I'll show you this too. When you shake it up, you know that it's good, because when you open it, it like spits at you. You know, see all those bubbles means that it's fermenting well. So we're gonna start with an empty one here. So first what we have to do is cut up, for this amount, for 8 cups, it's gonna be 2 tablespoons of ginger root. This is some ginger root. Now what I usually do is buy a bunch of ginger root and then freeze it. And so I took this out and let it thaw in the refrigerator, and now it's ready for me to cut up. Now also too, you don't want to take off the skin because that helps it to ferment better. So I've cleaned it already, didn't show you that part, but it is clean, and I'm going to cut it up. So I'm not sure how to do this, but I'll just angle it like that so you can, it's so interesting to watch me cut this up. Here's my jar. So yeah, I'll just kind of cut these little pieces. Try to cut smallish pieces, and it's just going to be 2 tablespoons for 8 cups, 2 heaping tablespoons. So cutting it up like this, and then you could use a cheese grater or shredder. They just need to be in smallish pieces. So there we go. And here's my tablespoon. So that's one good heaping one. And then looks like I need to cut a little bit more off to make the second one. If your family is not used to ginger soda, I mean, it's not going to taste like soda, but my family loves it, absolutely loves it. By the time I put 1 gallon of ginger soda in the fridge, I got to start the next one. So it's been a great help for us. It's really healthy for everybody. Gets the probiotics in there. Ginger is so good. It's anti-inflammatory, antifungal. It's just really good for you. It's an immunity booster. And on top of that, it's fermented. All right, so it looks like I only needed a little bit of that. And there it is in the bottom there. All right, the next thing would be 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Just wash my hands off here. So I have this lemon juice here. So all I'm gonna do is put a tablespoon, trying to show what I'm doing here. There's 1 and 2. All right, next thing is going to be some sugar. And I generally use this sugar that I'm just going to tilt this up now. I generally use this sugar that I used to be able to find at Dollar Tree, but I haven't been able to. But anyway, it just makes me feel a little bit better. It's not just plain white sugar. It's called pure cane sugar, all natural. So, I'm gonna cut the top off here. So there's gonna be 2/3 of a cup of this sugar added to the starter here. So this is 1/3, 2/3, around about. It's not the exact science for this kind of thing. Fermenting is not an exact science. If you dive into it, you'll figure that out. A lot of people are scared of that too, like they don't know, but you'll get a taste for it. All right, so we have put sugar, 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 2 heaping tablespoons of chopped up fine ginger root, and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. All right, so I think that's it. So now what I'm gonna do is I gotta fill it up with some water. So I just go into my tap and filling it up with some cold water. I'm not gonna angle the camera over here because it's a kid's dishes duty who has not tackled that task yet today. So my sink is pretty full. All right, I'm gonna stop, not quite to the top, because it does ferment, and so that makes pressure inside of it. So you don't wanna fill it all the way up to the top, you know? Like this one I showed before. It's not all the way to the top. And then you put the top on it. Put it on good, and then just give it a good shake to get all that stuff mixed up. Now, what you're gonna do with this is going to ferment. And that might be scary. It's gonna sit on your counter. It's not gonna go in the refrigerator. You're gonna be like, oh gosh, but it's okay, it's okay. This is what people did for thousands of years. So just wanna make sure, I like to make sure there's no like sugar sticking around up there. Looks pretty good. Now, also, you don't ferment things with the top tightly on it. Now you could do it with the top sort of, kind of loosely on it, but what I like to do is I cut up some of my precious husband's t-shirts and I just put it on there like so. So it's protected, nothing can get on it, and lots of air can get in there to help the fermentation process, but it stays nice and clean. So what I'll do with this is gonna sit on my counter. This is a ginger bug, and it has to sit and ferment at 75 to 85-ish degrees for probably about, I think it says 3 to 7 days. So again, what's gonna happen is you're gonna see bubbles, and I'm gonna see if I can show you my good one here. This is what it looks like. You see when I move it around? I don't know if you can, here, I'll shake it again. You see all those bubbles? And then when I opened it, you hear the fizz. So that's a good ginger starter. So again, this is what you have to make before you want to make a big gallon of ginger soda. This is the starter. This is what gets the fermentation going in your soda. All right, see, as simple as that. So it's gonna sit, this little puppy is gonna sit on my counter for 3 to 7 days. And what you have to do is put the lid back on once or twice a day, shake it up, take the lid off, and just set it there. And try not to put it in direct sunlight. And that's it. All right, when it's ready, I'll make my second video ever. Goodbye.